You mentioned Oscar Schindler. That was quite a journey with that horse.
Yeah, he was quite good. He'd be like Ollie Lahan, who was wild man. But anyway, I, I can't tell the story, but I'll tell it to you some other. But he was actually in Aidan O'Brien's, Oscar Schindler.
Was he?
He was. And how Lahan got him was he played golf and he won 15,000 off John Magner. And I think the nomination was something like that at the time. And he gave him the nomination for the mare that Lahan had. And Oscar Schindler was the result. And he was in Aidan's and he made a bit of a noise now. And anyway, I got him. And a fella called Louis Carroll, who died not so long ago too.
Yeah, Louis, yeah.
And Louis done a great job on him. He drove him for about 2 months and got him to wear himself. Because he was always sticking his head in the air, but he got him to wear himself.
And arch his neck and...
Arch his neck and what he got. And he wasn't as bad, he was good. But he took an awful lot of work, an awful lot. So we were very lucky to have a swimming pool up there. We'd give him a bit of work and let him go for a swim. He'd do 4 or 5 laps at the pool, home and work and swimming most days. But he put on, you couldn't keep the weight off him and you couldn't keep him out of the pot.
He won the Ormond Stakes and the Hardwick Stakes before the first of his 2 Irish St. Ledgers.
Yeah, and then he should have won the Arc. He was third in the Arc. Should have won.
To Helicio?
Helicio won. No, Helicio won, and what do you call it? Stout's horse beat him a short head for second place.
Did Cash ride him? Cash Smoothen ride him?
Cash rode him. Oh, he was last into the straight, and he went all over the place on him. Anyway,
He was fourth to Ponceleb as well, wasn't he? In another arc, the following
he was
year's
fourth the
arc as
following
well.
year, yeah. But he should have won the first arc. That was his reel there. He gave them 20 lengths into the straight and got beat. But Helicio jumped off. Chris O'Reilly, Lady O'Reilly, who died not so long ago, she bred him, Helicio.
Why didn't Stephen Crane ride him? He was a stable jockey at the time. And Stephen Crane.
Stephen Crane, what he called it, he rode him two Ledger winners.
But why didn't he ride him in the arcs?
The owner changed the jockeys like he changed his shirts.
When you look at his form, there is a lot of jockeys that beside him.
Mick and Ann was the only one that rode him twice, I think, and he won the Hardwick on him, and he won the Ormond on him, you know, and he wouldn't leave him on him, you know. Well, he said, "What you got doing Rome as the Romans do? If you go to Rome, you have a Roman jockey. If you go to France, you have a French jockey." So.
And the name, of course, Oscar Schindler. The film had only come out at that time. We
had to write to to Oscar Schindler's widow, who was in her 80s or 90s at the time, and got a lovely letter back off her, and she said she'd be delighted to have her horse named after her husband, which was nice. I didn't get the letter now. Lahan got him, we never got it. I'd love to have had it, you know.
Yeah, that would be lovely to have, wouldn't it?
And to win 2 Ledgers, 2 Irish Ledgers, your home track.
Oh yeah, it was good. He was a very good horse, and the day he won the Hardwick, at that meeting, I was only after starting with Lady O'Reilly, and Verglass won the Coventry.
Willie Supple rode him.
Willie Supple rode him, yeah, and I bought him off Sheikh Mohammed for 26 grand, and I think he had 5 runners in it. In the Coventry. Amazing game. I don't think he ever forgave me.
Kevin, another one, Pidget. You nearly won the Phillies Triple Crown of Pidget, didn't you, back in the early 70s?
She won the Guineas, and she was unlucky not to win the Oaks. Mr. Ox's, I think Darren McCarg was it? Fella was riding for Oxroad or anyway, and I said to him, make sure when you're coming down the hill, because she knows where that hill is and she might head for home. And she went halfway home and still finished third. Anyway, she won the Ledger that year. She won the Guineas and the Ledger.
Did T.P. Burns won the
T.P.
Ledger
won
on it?
yeah, he was left-handed. And what do you call it? The fella that rode her in with the Oaks was right-handed, and TP mostly used his left hand. He couldn't use his right hand. That's how he rode.
Some of your owners, Sheikh Hamdan.
Oh, he was a great man for me.
How did yourself and Sheikh Hamdan? How did Sheikh Hamdan? Where did you meet? How did the relationship become about?
I tell you, I had a good friend called Tom Jones, trained in England, and there was a woman called Mrs. Betty Veriker, had owners or had horses in training with my father, and when they'd get high in the handicap or what do you call it, father used to recommend Tom Jones to take them, you know, and he had horses for Hamdan, and Hamdan decided to have a couple of horses in training in Ireland because he had Derrynstown stud, and Tom Jones says, I know the man for you. So basically through Tom Jones I got him.
You had some brilliant days at Sheikh Hamdan.
Ah, unbelievable. He was very good to me, good man. Went out there and he was treat you the best in Dubai early on. Very good. And Sheikh Mohammed, fair play, he was very good as well.
Did you train for Sheikh
No.
Mohammed? Right.
No, Mick Osborne was his manager, and the Osbornes and I never really got on.
Okay.
You know, even though my uncle or my father's brother rode the winner of the national for Old Joe, their grandfather,
Okay.
called Alice Baythorn.
How big a change when Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Hamdan came into racing? How big a change was that for you going to sales, the way they boosted everything up?
Yeah, it was what do you call it? He mostly bought what he wanted himself, and what do you call it? And usually he was fairly right, you know. And the couple of very good horses I got on, he bred them himself, really. I was very unlucky not to win the Derby for him with Mad Moon. He was probably unlucky. We'd good days. We won the Guineas for him, and good days with what do you got? Several good horses for him.
Mustameet was a real
He was a
standard
right
there.
little horse, yeah, good horse. I think he won 10. He got disqualified once, but he won 10. Good horse. He
Really
was.
solid Group 3 performer, Group 2
Yeah,
performer,
Group
wasn't
2, yeah. Same as that horse Well had,
Famous name.
famous name.
Yeah.
You know, they just couldn't get their head in front in a Group 1. They weren't good enough, you know.
Ott had a course, winning the
Yeah,
Guineas.
he won the Guineas, yeah. He was quite a good horse. He's doing well as stud now. And better than a lot of them thought he'd do. These big fellas with covering 200 and 300 horses, they don't like them. They don't like those horses that don't cover as many and get as many winners. But he is a very good sire if he gets a chance. And he's very, very reasonable. I think he's standing for about $5,000 at the minute.
Moving on to some of your other owners. Lady Chris O'Reilly. some
She was
wonderful
lovely,
days.
lovely person, very good to me. And her husband, I knew him years back, Tony O'Reilly, when he was playing rugby. Lovely guy, very smart. And look, I had some great owners. Michael Sheehan, John A. Wood, Dr. Kiley, who'd be John Kiley's, I think he's an uncle to John Kiley.
Okay.
Very
What
good.
what good horses did you train for those people? Can you remember?
Oh, mostly be ordinary horses, ordinary horses. But they didn't mind, they loved the bet,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Lady O'Reilly, Rebelline winning the Tattersalls Gold
Rebelline,
Cup.
she won the Tattersalls Gold Cup. Just got beaten the Guineas with the Menti Cardiff for her. And Verlas was a very good horse for her. You know, listen, when you have an owner and you have 2 or 3 good horses for him, it's like a football team. You know, if there's 2 or 3 good players on it, it's the most. There won't be 15 good players or 11 good players. You know. And there's another thing too. If you don't have the cartridges, you can't fire the gun.
It's very true.
You know, so you have to have the ammo. And if you don't have the ammo, and if you have enough money to buy the ammo, you have a better chance than the fella that can't buy it.
And you never had big budgets to buy horse at the yearling sales, didn't you not?
Now we've got what do you got? The dearest horse you get probably from Sheikh Hamdan. Then what do you got? And they were all bought by what do you got? The agents and that, you know.
And how many would you have had every season for Sheikh Hamdan?
You'd always get maybe 8 or 9 2-year-olds, you know. And then if you had 2 or 3 or 4, 5 3-year-olds, you know. But basically, if they weren't up to scratch, most of them went to the sales.
Yeah.
Which is common, but otherwise they start collecting up around you, you know.
Handassa, you trained her, who's
Yeah, the
now
dam of what do you got? I trained her. She was a very good mare. She was by Dubawi.
Mustadef's dam.
Yeah.
And Nazif as well, both
Yeah.
Group 1 winners
That's right.
this year.
Yeah. And they, usually Sheikh Hamdan send them to you. What do you got? If you trained it, what do you got? But the system changed a bit, you know.
And Sheikh Hamdan and yourself, you had a great relationship as well off the track. You both had shared interests, fishing, hunting.
Oh, he loved to shoot. They loved the fishing. Loved shooting. But he'd always come here. And he'd come in and sit down. He'd stay an hour and chat away. And what do you? And he was good. Good man.
You had a great relationship with Sheikh Hamdan, didn't you?
He was great. And he'd ring you. Where are you? I'm in the pub. And he'd laugh.
And it was very noticeable at the sales. You'd see Sheikh Hamdan and yourself, and both of you'd have your arms around each other, and God only knows how funny stories you were telling him, but he always had a laugh at you,
He
didn't
loved the crack. He loved the crack. But that's the story.
Dunbine Express, he was another very
Yeah,
smart
Johnny
horse.
Connaughton, yeah. Yeah. A good horse. He did very well when he went to Hong Kong, became a champion.
Evening Verse, smart filly of Mrs. Whitehead's, a grey filly that you done well with too, stakes winner also.
Oh, yeah. She was a good...
Evening Time, sorry.
Evening Time.
Love soft ground.
Choose Me.
Choose Me.
Choose Me, the dam, all good dams. All good dams.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.